Alrighty, welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So I haven't had a long forecast for you guys in a while, so I did want to just give you a quick update. I think everyone has a good idea of what I feel and, what my forecast is more or less. And my forecasts, they never change. I always want to make sure that, whenever I'm making one, it's very futuristic. I want to make sure that it's more on a macro scheme of things. I want to make sure that if I'm planning on doing anything when it comes to these cycles, that I have years in mind. Okay. And, one thing more than anything is I saw the last Fed meeting. So I wanted to give you guys a good idea of what I felt. And I know, I know a lot of our whales definitely understood the lingo. And I'll be going over my reaction to that as well. So I'm pretty excited about this. There's so many new updates. There's been a lot of different rugs out there that I'd like to touch base on too and give you guys further insight as to how not to waste your time just because you're in an echo chamber full of other people that just happen to like a pick because they just happen to be partners with whoever. Okay. There is way too much emphasis on partnerships. Okay. When you focus on the service, when you focus on the product, all that nonsense goes out the window. So we're going to talk about that today too. I'm going to talk to you guys about a new interview we have coming up with a CEO that I've been trying to get a hold of for a while. And it's going to be a really cool interview. So I'll go over that with you. But again, don't forget, I always do my videos live. There's no edits, okay? No commercials. So do me a huge favor for MYC and make sure you press the like button for our video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, if you're not a subscriber yet, I need to see you guys in OddApp because there is only two places you're going to find us now. You're either going to find us on OddApp and you're going to communicate with me every day, or you're going to find me on Twitter, which is MYC OddApp. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. So, first and foremost, I want to go over the Fed, and then we're going to go into a lot of these 100X projects that I am very excited about and why I feel like they're going to be triple digit multipliers. But again, 95% of you are going to fail. Okay. Let's not, put a cherry on top of things. Okay. Let's put it this way. 95% of people are going to fail at triple X to 4-digit multipliers because whales know how to hold, and whales know, put it this way. They don't twitch or, take profits on a 1X. To be honest with you, whenever I hear somebody say, oh, I took profits on a 2X or a 3X, and I cringe inside, because when you take profits on a 2X or a 3X this early, you just destroyed and forfeited your entry, which is going to destroy your multipliers. And for what? To be taxed? To be taxed? Like, who cares if you got a 2X if you're getting taxed on your 2X? Like, here's what I don't understand. If you're in this market and you're an investor, you are going to get the largest double digit, triple digits, and even quadruple digit multipliers if you know how to hold. And right now, everyone says we're in the bear market. There's one more dip, or we're getting closer to the bear cycle or to the bull cycle. Let's say, for the people that say we're in a bull cycle right now, great. You know why? Because all of these things have everything to do with the market trending upwards in increments over the course of several years. Okay. A bull market. Okay. Just because somebody at this time says, hey, this is a bull market, we're in a bull market right now, does not mean that you sit there as a beta bear and sit there and say, oh no, but Dion, it's not a bull cycle because nothing's happening yet. Oh no, it can't be a bull cycle yet. Okay, first of all, we're in the beginning of a bull cycle. Okay, bull cycles happen over a course of years, from the very, very bottom and the very, very tail end of a bear cycle, and no consideration and no profits are taken into consideration for at least I would say from here for 2 years. Everyone is anticipating Bitcoin halving in 2024. Everyone knows that nothing really takes effect on that until probably about I would say half a year. I would say half a year after halving. Okay, so again, people sit there and they say, oh, we're in euphoria. There's euphoria going. Stop. Just stop. Okay. A bull cycle does not happen in a course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, up and down, and then it's over. Okay. Bull cycles happen over a course of years. Okay. So slow your roll, relax. But the prices that you're going to get today are predicated on the crowds we have today. And the crowds we have today are minuscule compared to what we will get in 2025. Can we all agree on that? I think we can all agree on that, right? So why on earth do you feel that the prices today will actually be cheaper in 6 months? Because for those of you that think that prices will be cheaper in 6 months, well, I think you look like, I'm pretty sure you look silly now, because you're never going to get those prices that were happening 6 months ago. You know why? And how I know that? Because I was buying 6 months ago, and now all of us here, I mean, well, the majority of us, I don't know about you guys, I know I am, but on several of my picks, I am at 1 to 3x multiplier. I have not taken any profits, and I'm relaxing, I'm coasting. And I feel good because I know that I'm going to get the most multipliers, and I know I'm going to be here for the next few years. So what does it matter to take profits now? Okay. The only people that take profits too early are people that are not going to survive the next year. And the reason why is because they're not producing income. See, the way a trader trades, or the way people act, or the way that people think has a lot to do with where they are in their life. So you should understand that when people talk to you, or they talk to you about their personal strategy, they're talking to you about their own financial situation. Because if you're a person that's not generating revenue, you're not generating income, then you're going to want to take that 2x as fast as you can because you got no more income coming in, right? So for those of you that are stacking like the way you're supposed to, and you're generating income, your ass is at work every day, you're making money and still stacking, you are going to be the the 3 to 4 digit multiplier person as long as you're holding that 2-year mark or more. You have to let time appreciate your assets. You don't sit there and wait for the next douchebag influencer to rise your picks. Guys, I need everybody to drop the Kool-Aid immediately. There is nobody on TV, there is nobody on YouTube that moves markets, okay? They may think they do. You may think they do. Maybe they wish they can, but if that was truly the case, all the markets would be in bull cycle right now. Everything would be going catastrophically past Uranus right now. But as you can see, everything is nice, slow, steady increments. And the reason why is because the population is not here yet. Okay. You guys are here early. All right. And here's another thing, so to give you an example, right? LCX, a lot of us were catching it around the 3-4 cent mark, and some people are still steady at a good 2 to 3x. Okay. So for those people that haven't taken profits, they got the most tokens for the best price, and it's not going to go back to that price point again. Okay. But one time I heard a guy saying, yeah, it went 3x. So I took profits on that, and I'm going to wait for it to go down. And I'm like, it's not going back down. You literally just forfeited all your multipliers right there, because now instead of you getting 3x per 10 cents up to $1 on LCX, which is not going to remain under $1, okay, you just killed your multipliers. Now, if you want to re-enter LCX, you're going to have to get in anywhere between, I would say, 8 to 12 cents, which is now only going to be roughly what, let's say 10x per dollar, 10x per dollar instead of 33x per dollar. It's a substantial difference when you forfeit your multiplier or you forfeit your entry. So these are just certain things that I hear where maybe the short trader says, oh, I won. Okay, you may look like you won today, but you actually lost. Okay. If you are an investor, you buy something, you hold it, and you let time appreciate the asset. Okay. That is going to give you the most benefit, not only in ROI, but the most benefit tax wise. Okay. So don't forget about those things. The biggest picks that I'm excited on right now is ABT Arc Block, Blues LBLZ, PRQ Parsec. I like LCX. I like Jasmine. I also like Dragon Chain still. I'm going to be interviewing with the CEO of Dragon Chain this Wednesday, and he's going to talk to me about his new social media app called den.social. So we're going to be talking with him right here on this channel live on Wednesday at 12 p.m. or no, actually 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be an awesome, awesome conversation. Okay, I'm going to go into that a little bit more and talk to you guys about that project in a little bit. But, let's go back to my Fed reaction, okay? I just wanted to talk to you guys about multipliers because, you could get multipliers faster, in a bear cycle. It's possible. However, you are screwing yourself. You're screwing yourself in a tax liability standpoint, okay? Because a 2x or a 3x is not shit when you're going to get taxed, okay? It's way different when you hold it longer than a year, when the bull cycle is 2025, okay? The bull cycle is going to be in a couple years, right? Like where you start seeing those huge peaks, okay? But keep in mind, if you're at the very bottom of a pick and you have a year, 2 years of growth, you know how much ROI and multipliers that's going to merit versus you being in and out, in and out, in and out, and getting taxed, okay? If you're going to be here and you're hoping for that 2025 high peak, right? Why would you tax yourself on a short-term capital gains instead of getting long-term capital gains? See, people meant for poverty are going to stay in poverty if you don't upgrade your education. It's not just about seeing the gain in front of you. It's not just about fast, short-term gratification. It's about delayed gratification as an investor. So I'm going to say that right there, okay, guys? So again, look, everyone has their own strategy. There's a lot of people that, I talk to people that are short-term traders. I talk to people that are long-term traders. I also talk to people that are leverage traders, okay? I'm a long-term trader. I want to see massive multipliers for the money I put in. I also don't want Uncle Sam stealing my money because they already steal enough money through inflation. So in any which way I can, I try to conserve my money, conserve my profits, and for damn sure, conserve and protect my multipliers at all costs. Okay. So again, you guys make your own bets. I'm going to make my bets. We'll see who does better. But again, this is not financial advice. You guys do your own thing. I'm not a financial advisor. You do your own thing. Okay. But I'm just telling you from my own experience and from the bills that I've paid before for different missteps, and that's what's nice about OddApp, because when you're on OddApp, you're going to get to learn about some of the things that our veterans went through, okay? Because nothing teaches you more in this industry than losing money, okay? In this industry, in this sector, okay, you cannot spell crypto without cry, okay? This is the only sector that you will learn extremely fast because you could lose a lot of money, okay? You could lose a lot of money at any given point for a variety of reasons, whether it's a rug pull, whether it's a scam or whatever, or maybe a hack happened, or whatever excuse happens when a project fails, okay? Because they are projects. 95% of projects do fail, okay? That's something you have to understand for yourself because you're a venture capitalist. When you're investing in crypto, you are called a venture capitalist, okay? A venture capitalist takes on high levels of risk for high levels of return. That's the price you pay for volatility. Don't ever forget it, okay? So again, let's go into, the Fed forecast, and I'll give you my perspective of what's going on. Right now, the dollar did get shot up to about 102.99 on an uptrend, which I found very surprising. However, we are still not going to go back to those higher levels. And there's a variety of reasons why we're not going to go to higher level USD. We're going to continue to drain out the dollar as we move forward over the next 2 years. I do anticipate the US dollar to be roughly 75 cents by 2025. And in between now and then, as it drains out, massive multipliers and massive gains. And the reason why is because when you're purchasing an asset today with the buying power you have today, and you hold it and you let that asset hedge against inflation, And inflation is the depreciation of the dollar. So if the depreciation of the dollar, right, if you bought an asset at 103 and over the course of the next 2 years, the dollar drains to 75 cents, that is margin. Okay. Not only that, but in between this margin time frame, there are crowds and crowds of people coming in called a bull cycle. And the bull cycle is now and then. Okay. So bull cycle does not, in order, okay, guys, look, and when I say bull cycle, that does not mean that the market is going to just go up straight up. Okay. Bull cycles have fractures, bull cycles have volatility, they have dips, they have all sorts of these things. Okay. That doesn't mean it just continuously goes up. However, in the grand scheme of things, inflation is projected to go higher. Therefore, assets are going to rise with inflation. And the reason why is because governments do not change their strategy when it comes to the manipulation of currency and the theft of the citizens that they're supposed to represent. So let's go into it. I was watching the Fed, and one of the biggest things that I caught, was him saying that he felt very bad about everyone going through inflation. In fact, he tried to say that he's fighting inflation. However, we are in a $31 trillion debt bubble. Okay. So not only that is we just got through saying that we couldn't pay our bill and that we needed a 6-month extension. All right. So we have Yellen and Congress saying we needed a 6-month extension on the debt ceiling to make up a decision by June to either stop spending or reduce spending, or increase the debt limit, or eliminate or expand the balance sheet, or raise the debt ceiling. Either or, it's the same thing. It's still the expansion of monetary supply versus constriction or tightening. Okay, so just keep this in the back of your head. Keep this in the back of your head. It's very important, because what's funny is the last time I checked in all of human history that had fiat, governments, when they spend too much, when they overspend and overexpand, like in Rome, the best thing that they could do to counter high debt levels is utilize inflation to take care of the debt deficits by leveraging inflation to rise asset prices through the devaluation of the dollar or the devaluation of their originating currency. So the Fed is not fighting inflation. All right. The government is not fighting inflation. They're creating inflation through overspending, overexpansion, all these programs, all these different things that allow inflation to happen. And the reason why is because the goal is inflation. All right. You cannot pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit. The country is not generating enough tax revenue. I mean, which is actually pretty hilarious considering you're taxed on your income, you're taxed on your property, you're taxed on shit you buy, you're taxed on literally everything. And now they're talking about taxing you on carbon credits from the air you breathe or the fart gas that you put out. Okay. You have to put it in perspective that they are taxing in every which way possible and still can't pay their bills because they're too busy overspending and sending money, our money, to foreign nations for foreign interests, for foreign countries that don't give a shit about us. But before I go into full sweeps, I want to just hammer in on the monetary policy. When governments need to pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit, and keep in mind, I say governments, but I mean banks. Banks do the same thing all the time, every time. When there's too much debt, they leverage inflation and deflation, just like Thomas Jefferson said, okay? And the way he explained it was they're trying to make Americans homeless on the land their forefathers conquered. And I always love remembering what he said on that manner. But if you focus on that little part where he says banks will leverage inflation and deflation. Now, what is inflation? Inflation is when the dollar is going down in buying power, okay? And deflation is when the dollar is going up in value, making it cheaper to purchase items or services or whatever the case. But why does the media keep telling us that we're going through inflation? Inflation is going up, and because inflation is going up, that's why assets are going down. This is a straight up lie. The problem is we don't have price stability in our currency, which is the basket, which is our reserve currency. The US dollar is the reserve currency in which all assets are measured, tangible or intangible. And what you're seeing in the background is a currency war. When Jerome is manipulating the currency, okay, and he can manipulate the dollar going up or going down, however he wants to do it, and central banks around the world are going to respond to that, okay? And at this time, the dollar is overvalued. It's deflating. The dollar is actually deflating right now. It's actually at 102.99 and it's weighing asset prices down. So if you're an American, you should be utilizing this buying power to capture these assets at the low because you will not have this buying power forever. Why? Because the debt bubble is about to pop. It's called a recession. And a recession for plebs, they sit there and they say, oh, but Dion, it's really bad. The markets are going to tank because no one's going to be able to pay their bills. They're going to sell their crypto. They're going to sell their stocks. No. First off, plebs don't invest, okay? Secondly, put it this way, recessions or debt bubbles, okay, are when repos happen. So you got repossessions, foreclosures, you have credit card defaults, you have bankruptcies, you have all these things. But press pause. What are all of these things? What are all of these things? This is bad debt defaulting. What happens when the US defaults on debt? You have a dollar crash. So if the Fed just got through showing you guys a chart where more than half of the public debt took up the balance sheet, and we're about to go through a recession and there's a debt bubble happening, and if a recession is bankruptcies, repos, credit cards, all of these things are debt default against the dollar. So what I anticipate is a dollar crash, no different than what I've been talking about. Now, there are other forces at work that are going to crash the dollar besides the public sector, borrowing money they're not going to be able to pay back and what have you. There's more than that happening that is going to crash this dollar. So again, because we're going into recession, you're going to see those US dollar debt default, which is going to harm the US dollar. Okay. So your dollar is going to go down in value and asset prices are going to rise up because of that. Because when you have debt defaults or when you have US dollar debt bubbles pop, you have a depreciation in your dollar because it's debt. What is the bond market? It's debt. The bond market, if it were to crash, the dollar crashes. Why? Because it's debt. Your dollar is debt. When you look at the dollar, you look at the bottom of your dollar, it says Federal Reserve note. It's a dollar. It's a note. It's a debt. It's the same thing. So you have to focus on the real cause of why the dollar crashes. Not only that, the dollar has no yield. So let's look at it from an investor standpoint. When you look at it from an investor standpoint, guys, okay, listen to this closely. If the yield on bonds is only 3 to 4% and then the inflation rate is 6%, if not higher, then why would an investor buy bonds if both the principal and the yield will be eaten away by inflation? You're not going to hold the bond. You're going to dump it. And that's what these central banks are doing to the US dollar. They're dumping dollars, and for good reason, because the dollar is overvalued. It's deflated to about 102.99 at this time. Okay. So not only is the dollar expensive, but there's no yield. The yield is 3 to 4%. Okay. So the yield is not going to keep investors. Now they have to go look at the dollar value. So now they're overpaying for an asset that is not providing yield, but they do see that the dollar is overvalued at 102.99. So when the investors see this, and when I say investors, I mean institutions. These are massive entities that are billions and billions of dollars holding US dollars. So they look at the margin. They say, well, if I liquidate my dollar at 102.99, that's a better deal than letting 6% inflation eat my principal and my 3 to 4% yield. So instead of waiting for maturity date, I'm not going to be a dumbass. I'm going to dump the bond now. But if I dump enough of these bonds, then I could take the liquidity from that US dollar bond and then transfer it to my currency of origination, whether it be the yen, the yuan, the Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, whatever the case. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're getting the most for their money. Okay. So instead of dying in yield, that the inflation is eating away principal and yield, they liquidate, they transfer that liquidity over to their originating currency, so that way they could prop up their own currency. Because keep in mind, as the dollar gets manipulated upwards, it's hurting other currencies. Because keep in mind, the dollar is a basket of currencies, and that basket is tied to different. So you have the euro, which is up here. You got the pound. You have the yen, the yuan. You have Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar. And when the dollar is going up in value, it's hurting these other currencies and their marketplaces. So what those central banks need to do is they need to take the US dollar debt or the US dollar bonds that they do have and dump them. You could find this happening so strategically. Anybody could prove this easily. China had a $1.2 trillion bond. They had $1.2 trillion in bonds. Now they have, I think, somewhere in the range of 900 billion. Okay. Japan, which was the most US debt holder, had 1.3 trillion in US dollar debt. Okay. Which was bonds. Okay. Now they're at 1.1, if not 1 trillion at this time. But keep this in mind. The more these central banks are dumping bonds, and clearly for good reason, I would do it. If I was holding bonds and I saw that yield and the principal was getting eaten away by 6% inflation, which is probably a lot higher than they're disclosing to us, I'm going to dump the bond now to get the 102.99, transfer that to my currency, prop up my currency, which is what you guys saw in Japan yen. If you guys take a look at the yen, or if you take a look at the yuan or any of these other currencies, as these central banks are doing these things, those currencies are going up in value because of this. Okay, they're trying to get the most out of their bond. Okay, now on top of this, another way out of debt. Okay, governments have only one thing they could do: expand monetary system. If they have debt, the only way they could get rid of this debt is clearly the country's not generating enough revenue. So what they do is they manipulate the currency. So in order to manipulate the currency, they inflate the debt away, because the more they expand the monetary system, and keep in mind, the monetary system is elastic. You could stretch it or you can compress it. But the more you stretch it, the more the rubber band starts to thin out. And that rubber band is a representation or a foundational representation of debt. So when you're stretching that band out, it's actually devaluing the debt as well, because debts are dollars. Okay, so you're stretching the dollar. And as you're stretching the dollar, the asset prices move up in value, which is letting these countries or these governments utilize that inflated price in the asset to pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit. And it's the only way out. Okay. Remember what I just talked to you guys. I'm teaching you guys exactly what's going on. All right. Now, let's go back to the Fed. That way we can kind of get to put all this together. Okay. And again, guys, look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I don't edit. It's always live. No commercials. Press the like button for me. And if you're not inside OddApp, I don't know what you're doing yet, go to MYCNETWORK.CRYPTO. You can find out more information there. We have admins, we have developers, we have investors. We all congregate there and we talk to the next level. And I'm there every single day working for you guys. So don't forget that. So, all right. So let's go back to the Fed. You guys just remember everything I just talked to you guys about. Let's go back to what Jerome Powell said. Okay. During the conference, he says, I don't want to talk about any fiscal policy because that is not our job. It's Congress's job. Look, when it comes to not spending money, that's not my job. Don't talk to me about that. That's Congress. We're a third party, right? He says all this bullshit. But then literally 10 minutes later, the reporter says, what do you think about the debt ceiling? And then Jerome tells the reporter saying like, oh, well, I think that Congress should raise the debt ceiling. Huh? So you're basically telling me that it's not your business to tell Congress to stop spending money, but it's your business to tell them to borrow money. Okay. And borrowing money or raising the debt ceiling is expansion. That's expanding the monetary system. So he just told you what's about to happen in 6 months. He just told you what he advises Congress to do, to expand the monetary system. That is easy, no matter how you cut it. So If your dollar is at 102.99 right now, we're in the midst of the bull cycle at the very lows on prices based on our buying power. And that buying power is not going to last forever because investors are listening. These investors are not dumb. They're listening. And they just heard Jerome say that he's going to expand the monetary system in 6 months. He also heard that they also heard that Congress couldn't make their payment. So they did a 6-month extension. So if Congress just said and actually approved a 6-month extension till June, and then at the same time, or 10 minutes later, hear Jerome say, hey, in 6 months, I advise, so you don't hurt the economy or you don't hurt this country, to raise the debt ceiling. They just heard that the dollar is going to be expanded again. So because of this, it is literally like, guys, this is not an opinion. This is how in your face this is. I don't understand how people are not hearing what I'm hearing sometimes because some people don't get it. And I don't think they're ever going to get it. But they just told you in your face that they are not going to pay their bill. They just told you in your face that they're going to expand and elongate and increase their debt limit in 6 months. So if you are looking at the dollar right now and it is valued at 102.99, don't get comfortable because you heard it here first. It is going to crash. And it's been crashing because think about it. It was at 114 just a year ago. And for people that don't think currencies crash, you should ask our people that are members of ours, okay, that are in Germany or in Canada or in Australia. You should listen to what they have to say because literally 3 quarters ago, the euro and the pound crashed 20%. And now they had to spend more money on assets because their exchange rate was messed up at that time. So if you are trading with US dollars, if you want to be a crypto expert, you should understand your currency exchange rates because it matters. Okay. You can't sit there like a silly ass and say, oh, well, Bitcoin just dictates everything. Bitcoin, it's all about Bitcoin. Like, no, you better watch the dollar. You better watch gold. You better watch the bond market. You better watch multiple asset classes to understand what you're talking about so you have a solid forecast. You cannot give a proper forecast without understanding multiple asset classes. So it is not enough to think you're an expert because you know a couple picks. It's not enough to say, well, I'm an expert because I just watched all the MSM crypto kids and I know they're going to pump a pick, so that's the right one. No. Because as you guys could see, all the MSN great picks out there that everyone agrees a good pick collapsed 95%. That influence didn't save the market, did it? Okay. So let's not be silly asses this cycle. Okay. Let's get out of here the next cycle. Let's not be here for 5 cycles before we get it right. Okay. Let's get it right in 1. Let's get it right in 2 cycles. Wherever you guys are at. But at the end of the day, you have to understand what's going on within this system. So again, let's go back to other reasons why I know this dollar is going to continue to crash. Okay. So the yen, every single time it hits a particular exchange rate, they dump massive amounts of bonds too. So we have central banks that are dumping dollars because the valuation of the dollar is high. There's no yield. So clearly they're going to dump. So there's that. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. We're heading into a recession. You have a lot of private sector debt. Okay. And if you're in a recession, you have repossessions, foreclosures, credit card defaults, and all that stuff or whatever. And that hurts the dollar value as well because those are defaults against the dollar. All right. So there's that. So there's 2 reasons. Okay. Now let's go to the third reason why the dollar is going to crash. They just asked for a 6-month extension. And then Jerome said in 6 months, we should raise the debt ceiling. So now you have 3 reasons why the dollar is going to crash. Okay. Not only that, and I haven't forgotten, the $300 billion worth of US debt on Evergrande in China is not over yet. And that will be a catalyst at some point, I think. But I'm never going to forget about that because I know that's going to be a hammer eventually. Imagine $300 billion worth of US debt defaulting. You think China gives a fuck about US dollar debt when they have the yuan? Do you think China is going to pay off that US dollar debt? Do you think they're going to pay off $300 billion? No, They're going to let it default. And they're going to say, don't worry, we're going to give you debt in our currency, the new yuan. So they're going to bail them out in the form of another currency while letting another one take the hammer. So don't forget about the Evergrande. I didn't. You shouldn't. But I'm going to just remember I said this because it's going to come up again. Okay. Which was funny because I don't know if you guys remember, but when Kramer recently said that there was a bull cycle, based on the data, I said he's right. Because everybody and their mother was like, oh, Michael Burry said sell right now. Michael Burry. Like, guys, look. First of all, MSN crypto kids will get you wrecked. MSN picks get you wrecked. Let's go on to another example. Celebrities get you wrecked. Okay, so why on earth would you not pay attention to the data? Follow the data, not the people, not me, not whoever you think is your hero. Follow the data. Focus on the data, and it'll never steer you wrong. And again, let me take that back. You will never get rid of, you will never mitigate 100% of your risk. There's always going to be risk. Okay. We can go to zero by tonight. But, at the end of the day, when you have the data in front of you and you're utilizing data to the utmost best of your ability, you will mitigate your risks by a substantial amount that you will win more than you lose. Put it that way, because I've taken losses before too. I'm not perfect. Okay. So don't forget that. I don't want you guys to ever feel like, if whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, if you let assets if you let your assets get appreciated by time over anything, you're typically going to do well. So again, let's just kind of focus on that. Another thing you guys got to understand is when Jerome is at the Fed meeting, he's a salesman. He's trying to sell US dollar debt. Okay, so let's keep going back at, do you think the investor is going to buy the debt? You just saw a guy, let's say Jerome is the guy that's coming up to you. You don't know him, but he's asking you to give him money to borrow, or he's asking you to borrow money or whatever. Okay. And Jerome, okay, you just saw Jerome not pay, his bill, and he asked for a 6-month extension. And then ahead of the time of that 6-month extension, he just said that at the end of that 6 months, let's ask to borrow more money. So imagine if you were somebody, like if you were a bank and somebody came up to you and said, hey, can I borrow money? And you're like, well, I'll think about it. And then before he even, finishes the pitch to you, he's like, but keep in mind, I owe money right now, and I just asked for a 6-month extension, but I'm going to ask for even more money to borrow in 6 months from you. Is that okay? So it's no different. It's the same thing. Like the process in which one entity borrows from the next is no different. Okay. The bank is an investor. When they give you money, they're investing in you because they think they're going to get a yield via rate that they provide to you at the expense of the dollar they let you borrow. Okay. So, you can't forget about that. Let's go into picks. Okay. Let's go into picks. I don't want to go further on this. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I'll go through your comments a little bit. But again, look, I am interested in 5 picks right now. So far, we talk about over 100 pick stocks crypto. We're not a cult or anything like that. Everyone has different types of picks, but I always tell my people, like, this stuff that I'm interested in. But again, my number one pick that I really like, ArcBlock ABT, 186 million coin cap. They just got through deploying the AI Blocklick Assist. So when people bring up ArcBlock, they're going to bring up artificial intelligence. Do not forget that Robert Mao was ex-Microsoft research member. And also don't forget, he specialized in machine learning and artificial intelligence. So don't forget that ArcBlock does have a niche in artificial intelligence. Okay. That's a big deal. Okay. But besides that, though, it did go up. It went, I think, call was about 9 cents when we first found it. And now it's at 15 cents. I haven't taken any profit. And now what's nice is I'm at 50% gain and I don't need to do anything. I'm just chilling. I'm just stacking. That is good. Jasmine. I like Jasmine a lot. I think that's going to be a great company. You have Sony. You have a lot of different partnerships, Toyota, Lexus. And then on top of that, it is highly regulated with Japan. And keep in mind, the yuan is not doing good as a currency. So I really do feel, and I'm going to say it right now because I want to get the call. Okay. I feel that Jasmine will be Japan's currency. I'm going to say that now because I'm going to be the first guy that says it, because I do feel that Jasmine will be adopted by Japan's government as the new currency that'll replace the yen. Okay. The yen has not been doing good. It's never done good, honestly. And it's doing worse now. In fact, all they can think about is constant debt, constant QE. So I kind of feel like this is a person that is consistently just borrowing all they can, knowing they're going to go to another currency. So I really do feel that there is more to Jasmine than people think. I think Jasmine will be a coin like back in the day when we first found Cardano or H bar for the decimals, or V chain for the decimals, three decimals over. I feel like this is going to be a company we're going to remember in 2 years and say, damn, I could have bought that for decimals. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that for about Jasmine. Another explosive pick that I like is Parsec, PRQ. That's a 310 million coin cap, Web3 data analytics for the Web3 sector. So I like that company. I did well with it before. I last time I bought into it was around the, I want to say 6 to 8 cent mark, and I rode it to close to $2. It was like $1.80 by the time I got out. But that was my first cycle with it. It took a lot of balls to get there, but I think, it being on Coinbase now, I think it'll go to new heights and it'll be explosive, especially for the crowds that are coming this time around. So I'm very happy with it. I got in this cycle around 7 to 8 cents. And right now I'm at about almost a 2x multiplier. No profits taken, chilling. Bluezo BLZ. Bluezo BLZ was a success and the highest performing Cosmos token last year, and it'll do it again this year. It just got through integrating to Stargate, so it is now a bona fide Cosmos coin. All right, it is Cosmos proper. So Bluezo runs on Cosmos Autumn. It's a Cosmos coin for those of people out there that still don't want to get it through their head. I remember when I first brought up Bluezo that it was part of the Cosmos ecosystem. I had a bunch of dumbasses sitting there, but Dion, it's ERC20. Not even looking into it. But guess who just got through integrating to Stargate, and it's going to be on Kepler. So it's going to be on there soon, and it's going to explode. That's a 500 million coin cap. It is highly compressive. In fact, last year during the during the bear cycle, while all the cosmonauts were getting wrecked and Luna, getting wrecked in Juno, getting wrecked, and every dumbass project with no business model on that ecosystem for 95% losses, we got 4 2Xs and 2 3Xs all year from January to June. And then we found ArcBlock in August, I believe. But again, Bluezo is going to be the top performing Cosmos coin this year again. And now that it's fully integrated with Stargate, it's game over. And it's GameFi. And GameFi is going to be huge. There's 3 topics that are going to be huge this year or for this cycle. Web3, GameFi, DID. Those 3 things. I guess we could add in artificial intelligence in there, AI as well. Let's keep going. Another one that I'm extremely excited about is Dragon Chain. Dragon Chain is going to be a beast. It's 433 million coin cap. It is going to be explosive. It's not listed anywhere except KuCoin, I believe, or you could get it on Uniswap. But I spoke with Joe several times so far already, and now we finally nailed down a time and a date for our interview. We're going to StreamYard it here on this channel live Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be badass. It's going to be a good time. And we're going to have Joe and also 2 other key developers talking Dragon Chain and their new social media app called Den.social. And Dragon Chain is a lot like ArcBlock. There's 2 different niches there, but Dragon Chain does have some similarities where you can code in any language. It is for enterprise use, but they're more tailored towards social media with Den.social. They also have another thing called Eternalize This, which is pretty cool, where it basically permanently stores tweets. So like, I don't know if you guys saw how Elon was exposing that the government was actually removing people's posts and all that stuff. Well, with Eternalize This and Dragon Chain, it actually stores the tweet directly on the blockchain. So it's immutable from that point, which is pretty cool considering the government has been doing Nazi ass shit. But again, guys, look, there's 51 people here. Do me a huge favor, guys. It's always live. I don't do edits, straight financial literacy here. Very fluent, no commercials, no nothing. Join OddApp. It's on Google and Apple phones. So if you have an Android or you had Apple and you want to learn more or you want to talk to real builders, keep in mind we have admins from different projects on OddApp. Robert Mao is even a member of ODAP. We also have developers there and also investors. So we have 3 different types of people there that are going to give you a wider perspective of how to look at different projects. So don't forget about that. Besides that, so so I'm pretty excited about Dragon Chain. So again, the interview will be Wednesday, and guys, don't forget to press the like button for me. Okay, I don't put any commercials, no edits, straight fluent. All right, so do me a huge favor, press the like button for me. If I don't see those likes past 40, we're just gonna end this video right here. How about that? Should we just end this video today, right now, just call it a day, or should I go through the comments? No. All right, so. All right, guys, look, it's been a good time talking to you guys. I'm going to make sure that we do more videos later on in the day. I had a ton of other stuff to talk about, but since nobody wants to press the like button for me, we're just going to cut it short right now and call it a day. But guys, look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will see you on ODAP, and we'll get started. Are we going to get past 40? I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to get past 40 unless we want to cut it short right now. You want to cut it short right now? Crypto Nick says, but Dion, don't leave. All right, let me go through your comments real quick. Walter says, Solo just hired some heavy hitters from their tokenizing platform. I don't care who they hire. It doesn't matter. I'm actually happy you brought that up. So I'm very bullish on XRP. I'm not going to buy it no matter what happens. To be honest with you, I don't care. It's 100 billion coin cap, so it doesn't matter. I was there when guys, I was buying XRP when XRP was listed and it didn't go to 589. I'm sorry, but again, I want to tell you guys why I'm very bullish on American companies. Okay, I'm very bullish on American companies because what just happened recently was Library Coin got their case dismissed. They got dismissed where a judge went ahead and said that that the initial stage of ICO, when Library Coin did an ICO, they said, oh, that was bad, but every sale afterwards, every sale after that ICO is fair game, and those are not securities. So what's badass about that is Library Coin is going to get dismissed, and over that dismissal, like literally a day after, Coinbase got their case dismissed. So they were sued for selling unregistered securities as well. So because of that verdict with Library Coin, which is cool, because what's nice about the US, when you have a case that gets put out, that case can also be used to define the next case judgment. So it kind of works like a synergy. So if something gets determined here, it's the same process, same logic for the next case, the next case, the next case. So because Library Coin got that dismissal, and every token sold after that ICO is now official and perfectly fine, Library Coin got liberated. Okay. Not only that, Coinbase got liberated after that. Their case got dismissed. This is huge and giantly bullish for American companies and American regulations. Okay. So if you're an American builder out there, this literally liberated you. You have no idea that regulations is going to happen this year because of this. Over Library Coin's dismissal, we're getting regulations this year. You heard it here first. This is happening. This is dead ass happening because they got their case dismissed. Coinbase got their case dismissed. Because of this, XRP will get relisted this year. Dragon Chain will get, I feel Dragon Chain also, because of these cases, will get listed on Coinbase this year. Okay, I'm calling it now. And I'm very excited about Dragon Chain. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday when I get Dragon Chain CEO and his team on here. But we're going to talk about that too. But because of those definitions by the judge, American companies are liberated, and we're going to get regulations this year. I really do feel it based on that. And clearly it's happening. I already see it happening a mile away. If Library Coin got their case dismissed and they utilize that for Coinbase's case to get dismissed, guys, American companies are going to rise out of the ashes. I'm telling you, XRP will get clarity this year, I feel. And also Dragon Chain will also get clarity that they need too. So I'm very excited about this. Guys, I would take a look at that Library Coin case. I don't know why. You guys have to tell me, are people talking about this? Does anybody even know about Library Coin, LBC? Guys, that is literally the key case for all American companies. Like literally, like now all American companies that for real, even if they had an ICO, okay? Even if an American company had an ICO, Okay. And, after it though, all the tokens sold after that, they're not securities anymore. It's over, like literally. So I would take a look at that, guys, because Ripple will get relisted over that. LBC will get relisted, or, they're going to get everything back that they had. Dragon Chain as well, and XRP. So guys, don't forget about that. I would take a big deep dive into that. Besides that, it's very bullish for all American companies, Let's keep going. Also for Solo, very bullish for Solo, because if XRP gets relisted, which, guys, look, I'll be really honest with you. If I could just tell you straight up, I would, because I'm always going to leave a percentage of doubt or a percentage of failure, because you guys don't know how to talk to anybody, some of you audiences out there, but look, from a perspective of what I'm seeing, okay, it's going to happen. Everything's going to happen this year. Okay. Over that library case, it's over. You're going to get American regulations this year. Okay. And I believe XRP will be listed before March. That's what I feel. I think Dragon Chain, at the same time that XRP gets relisted, or at the same time XRP gets relisted, Dragon Chain will get listed. And that's what I feel. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, Solo, so Solo, the only thing, I don't care what Solo does, I personally, I think the whole team is a disappointment, but I really love the project. I love the community, and I'm bullish on it because I'm not going to buy any Solo. I'm just not interested anymore. But again, look, it's a good project. That is the centerpiece for the XRPL. There is no other project more valuable in the XRPL besides Solo. I'll give you guys that. Okay. But because XRP is going to get relisted this year, and because regulations is going to come this year, and because of LBC and because of Coinbase and all that stuff, I do believe that because of these things, that Solo will get its license and they will get things done. Okay. So I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you guys that now. All you have to do is hold until 2024, 2025. Who cares if it goes up or down this year? Correct. Exactly. I don't plan on taking profits this year. Neither do I. I don't ever want to do, like, guys, look, I went through a shitty year. Like, we did good, we made multipliers, 2022, but I paid a substantial amount of money that I never want to pay again, and I learned my lesson. I am never going to take profits early ever again like that. I know a lot of people here on YouTube or anywhere else, they just talk about multipliers and they talk about making money like it's just oh, it's so easy. It's not fucking easy. It actually sucks, because if you don't know better, you will fuck yourself. You will fuck yourself so bad. And I made good money during last cycle, but if I could do it all over again, I would have made 10x the money I did and paid probably less than a fourth of what I paid in taxes. But I'm never going to forget that lesson. I'm telling you guys, in the crypto sector, what teaches you the most in this sector is losing money. And I'll tell you something, you're talking to a man that has lost a shit ton of money over doing stupid shit. You may think you're winning right now, but you're not. Okay. So I'm telling you, if you want to be an investor, you want to do it right, start thinking about profits in terms of short-term gains and long-term gains. And when you do that, you are not going to look at this shit the same way again. You're going to look at a 2x or 5x or 10x like it's bullshit. I'm telling you. That's why, since then, I'm always like, look, I'm not here for a 10x. I can give two shits about a 10x. Okay. I don't care. I could look at it. I could see 10x in front of me, and I'm not going to touch it because I know better. I've already been through it. I'm not going through that again. So like I'm telling you guys, if you want to do the right thing for yourself, I would measure your ROI based on short-term gains and long-term gains, and you will change your life. Okay. Don't wait to learn the lesson like me. Carlito's Wagon says, my wife has 2 to 3 years max left before she gets rugged. I'll tell you one thing, sir. I rugged mines as soon as I possibly could. Dave's not here says, when Lambos made of bugs. Walter says, even though ABT has gone up, I'm still buying every week. Absolutely. I bought some too. Actually, the last time I bought 2 times recently. I bought at 17 cents and then I bought at 15 cents, and I'll probably buy more. I want to buy as much as I can before it really starts scaling, because you got to think about it, guys. For those of you that don't think it's going to hit more than $1, okay, I want you to understand what market cap is. $1 on ArcBlock, okay? ArcBlock at $1 is 100 million market cap, okay? You guys know everything about Arc Block. You guys, have done your research. For those of you that have, you guys know what it is. Okay. Do you think that company is going to be 100 million market cap or less? Okay. 100 million market cap is $1. 500 million market cap is $5. Okay. Do you guys really think a company like that is only going to be worth 500 million market cap? I don't think so. Not when it has better tech than both Cosmos and Polkadot. It literally shits all over them. Cosmos only does 10,000 TPS. ArcBlock does 100,000 TPS, blockchain agnostic. It could communicate with multiple ecosystems. No migration needed. No migration from some random ecosystem to IBC. None of that bullshit. ArcBlock, you could utilize its blocklets any ecosystem, anytime. You could run it as a consumer, as a retail consumer, and use servers on ArcBlock server. Or if you're a company, enterprise, or you're working off another ecosystem, you need DID solutions, you need whatever solutions, AI, assist, blocklet solutions, whatever. You could take ArcBlock's blocklet and run that blocklet tool, that technology on the XRPO, or you could run it on ETH, or you could run it on whatever server you have, whatever server in-house that you want to use blocklet on, you could use it. You don't have to migrate out of your blockchain ecosystem. So imagine that. Okay. For those, guys, look, I know we have audiences here, but again, for those of you that are admins and developers, you're from different ecosystems. Okay. You don't need to leave the blockchain that you like. Okay. If you like the XRPO, you stay there. If you like ETH, stay there. You could use blocklet, any server, your own personal server, and run the tool wherever you want. You don't need to leave your ecosystem. There's no blockchain lock-in. So that is massive. It's going to be so massive. You're literally going to expedite your staff by 1,000x. Okay. If you only got one staff member and, maybe your CEO, you got one developer. Okay. Well, AI Blocklet Assist just gave you 100 fucking developers right there. Okay. That AI Blocklet Assist is like adding 50 developers to your one guy. Okay. That's how powerful that AI Blocklet is. Let's keep rolling. Ace Killjoy says, rug her now, Carlitos. Carlito says, she's gone. I just rugged her. Ruel Black says, what up, Dion? What up, Ruel? Ross, I don't know what you said. Daniel says, hit that goddamn like button, motherfuckers. Don't forget. Fabian says, plebs will be destroyed. Ace Killjoy says, ropes will 1,000x. Carlito says Ruel Black needs more collaborations with MYC. I agree. We're gonna do way more interviews together. I actually like having fun with you guys. I like doing like little panels and stuff. That's awesome. Mark says, been looking at DXY, and although I am no TA expert, it looks like dollar needs to go to $96, $98 probably by April. I kind of feel like it'll probably go under 100 cents within the next couple to few weeks, to be honest with you. I think that any uptrend's a fluke at this time based on what we're going through. Matt says ABT will 100x, plebs will weep. That is correct, Matt. Dave says, I'm bullish on the Federal Reserve repo charts up and to the right. Amazing. Daniel says, slap my wife's cheeks and bought more ABT. Never forget. That is correct, sir. Ace Killjoy says, never pull out of anybody. ABT retirements are here to stay. Fabian says, families will be abandoned. That Knock Life says, Raj is going to be out the back door next cycle with 3 to 6 wives. Don't forget. That Knock Life says, inverse Kramer is becoming so mainstream that it might be an inverse of an inverse now. Kramer's is right. I think so too. Ace Killjoy says, instantly more bullish for more Jasmine. Crypto Next says, but Dion, don't take profits on 1.5x. I'm not doing it. You guys can. You guys can do whatever you guys want. I'm not doing that bullshit no more. I'm over it. I'm never going to give up my entries again. Like after saying, like I had to learn. Let's see. Ruel Black says, yes, I know of LBC. Yeah, exactly. LBC is literally going to unlock US companies. It really is. Walter says, I'm part of the club. I have lost so much money getting in and out of positions and playing in large supply coins. I will never do it again. Johan says, Dion, do you ever share your percentage of portfolio in different coins? I'd strongly consider just copying your percentage holdings. No, I'm not a asset management firm, so I don't do any of those things. But, I don't need to do any of those things, guys. I mean, we talk about so many different picks. You can't get them all. I can't get them all. But I always like to tell you guys what I'm doing or what I like or whatever. But you guys do you. I mean, there's people that like stuff I like. There's some people that don't like what I like. I kind of like it when we're freestyling. Everyone kind of does their own thing. I mean, clearly, if I say stuff like clearly, if I say something, whatever, I do see that some people are like, oh yeah, well, Dion likes it, whatever. But that shouldn't be the reason you like it. I think you should do your research. Because what if I'm about to get rugged? You never know. But I need to diversify better, mostly ABT currently. Arc Block ABT is a great pick. I like it a lot. Carlito says, still holding EQ. I like EQ, 100 million coin cap on the XRPL. Think it could scale quickly again this cycle. There's no doubt about it. I heard their marketplace just got through launching, so there's more games being produced and all that, so I like that. Walter says, you just got me extremely bullish explaining that LBC case affecting XRP and Solo. It makes sense. And Solo has hinting they were waiting for the SEC case to be over. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it is. I mean, think about it, guys. It's bullish for American companies because now, because of that judgment, American companies get to not have ICO and they could sell tokens and they're not securities. And if the SEC has something to say about that, they instantly could go to the LBC case and say, this judge ruled that every sale after that ICO are not securities. So in that case, then nothing sold here is a security. Guys, I'm surprised that there was not enough press on this. It is so massive for American companies that case even happened. I'm telling you. And I called it. I remember when I was talking to everybody on OddApp. If you're not on OddApp, it's on Apple and Google phones. Just search your app store, ODD app. I called it. I told people, I was like, hey guys, pay attention to what's going on with that case because of that case and that judgment, LBC is probably going to do some multipliers, which it did. It did a 3x. But I said because of that case, XRP is going to get relisted. Coinbase got their case dismissed. And because of that, I know that Dragon Chain will get listed on Coinbase too. Because don't forget, Joe knows Brian Armstrong too. So that it's all going to happen. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to call it right now that it's going to get listed. We're going to see what happens. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong and it goes to zero, but I'm very bullish. I think it'll work out. Joey says we're all about to be millionaires. Big thanks to Dion. This is like knowing Bill and investing in Microsoft before the IPO. Don't forget. T-Lou says, any thoughts on Sushi Swap? I mean, I'm sure it'll do okay, but I don't really care for that, Christoph says, divorce now. Buy ABT. Thank me later. Walter says, 2025, I'll be moving to Costa Rica with several wives. Don't forget. PSI TV says, still cannot get. Okay, so guys, so for those of you that were having problems getting verified on OddApp, I just got through fixing an app. We had a downtime where a lot of newer users were not getting their verification email. If that is you, message me, or PSI, you could just let me know what your email is right now if you're still watching. If you just give me the first five digits of your email, I could remove your account. You could redo the process and it'll send you the verification. Now I got that fixed. We had some downtime, so bear with me on that. But now for anyone that's new or you just do it now like a new account, you'll get the verification. I had a good 24 hours of downtime where people weren't getting the verification, but I got everybody fixed. But if you are one of those people that I didn't get to fix yet, let me know and I'll get that squared away. Okay. But again, look, if you're not on OddApp, definitely hop in. If you guys want to stick to the pulse of the market, you want to understand or know what I'm doing every day or what I'm talking about every day, because that's where I work, guys. I work every day, 24/7 inside of OddApp. So if you want to talk to me every day or you have questions, I highly recommend joining OddApp. Okay. It's on, if you could go on your Apple phone or your Droid or your Android, you could find us, ODD app. Gomes says, stop the damn FUD about ALBT. You people are miserable for attention, you piece of shits. Okay, so Gomes is very upset because he likes Alliance Block. And I'll be really honest with you, I don't like it. because I knew that was going to happen. As soon as they said it got, okay, so Alliance blocked, everyone liked it so much or whatever, but it ended up getting hacked. It got hacked, and because it got hacked, I was like, okay, guys, it got hacked, so now it's going to end up going through a migration, okay? And yes, it was a third-party hack, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to migrate. So everyone is going to lose like 100% of their funds. So yeah, you're going to get a 1-for-1 swap on your Alliance block, but you're still going to get plowed. Like, it still sucks. So the team does have a good reputation, so I'll give them that. Well, I'm sure the new token will do good, but the token that is on the same smart contract right now, it's going to zero, because they're going to need to stop that, and they're going to need to migrate to the next coin. So I do think the company, once it makes its new coin and swaps and transfers everything over, then yeah, eventually it'll do its thing, maybe. But at this time, because it got hacked, because it got that, now you're going to have to go through a migration. And if a company goes through a migration, you might as well write it off as a 95% plus loss at that point. It's over. It's dead. But the new token that they produce, it's just a new process, which sucks because it's a brand new coin and it needs to go through the decentralization process. I will not touch Alliance block for 3 years because it's brand new now. So that's just me. I mean, you guys do you. But Gomes is really pissed off. He likes Alliance block. Don't forget ALBT. I'll still shout you out, bro. But look, as you see, this is what I like. I mean, guys, look, this is the type of community you want to be in, because look, I'm the leader and Gomes is in the odd app, and me and him, we talk about different things that we like, and I'm still going to shout him out. I'm still going to shout out the company, I'm still going to give it props, just educating people on spreading useless FUD. No, it's not useless FUD, bro. What are you talking? How could it be useless FUD? How could it be? Guys, it got hacked. And because it got hacked, like literally the moment it got hacked, before it got liquidated more, I literally said, as soon as it got hacked, I said, get out of there ASAP. Sell everything you can before you can't sell anything at all. Okay. And some people got their funds frozen. Okay. But the people that listened were able to get a good, decent amount of value out of there before it got frozen. Okay. But as soon as that happened, I said, well, it's over now, because now it's 100% losses, and they're going to do a 1-for-1 swap on the new token that they mint. And today they released that they're going to get a new token swap. So again, I called it, and you said, Gomes said, when I first saw this, I was like, it got hacked, so it's going to go through a migration. The first thing that Gomes says was, he was like, no, bro, there's not going to be a migration. There's not going to be a migration. I was like, are you sure about that? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll leave it alone. But I said it. I said, because it got hacked, it's going to migrate. And it did. Now it's migrating. So, So you have to admit it. You have to admit I was right. I still called it, and I still was right. Gomes says it's a third-party hack, bro. Ocean Protocol. I like Ocean Protocol. That's a very good company. Absolutely. PRQ. All of them got hacked. PRQ, and it's your banger. Oh, yeah, but it's right now the pick that's on Coinbase. That is the correct smart contract. And there was no migration, I don't think. Core first of all, Core has 2 new mints and a migration. That's worse. I like ALBT long term. Look, here's the thing about ALBT. It is worthless right now. It is dead. Okay. Nothing matters until the new coin gets minted. Let's put it that way. JTab says, do you think carbon credits will play a big role in the future? Yeah, I think so. I'm actually really really bluish. I'm actually really bullish on MCO2, which is Moss carbon credit. It's a 1.9 coin cap, and it's at the very low. It has no market cap yet, and I do anticipate 3 to 5x in the short term because of that. It is just near bottom. It's $2, but I wouldn't let that price discourage you because it's a 1.9 million coin cap. So don't forget that. John says VRA. I do like VRA. The first time I heard about that's not how you spell it. That particular coin. I think it's like uh, I can't. I had too many picks in my head now. Veracity, I forget. Uh, it first got introduced to me by a guy named CryptoArk, really cool guy. One of our members. He's been doing content creation for a while. I do like the pick. I've never bought it before, but I have heard good things about it. So there's that. But PRQ will outperform AOBT. I will tell you that. PRQ Parsec all day, every day, no matter what, will outperform ALBT all day. So there's that. But again, so my top banger picks, okay, would be ABT, Arc Block, PRQ Parsec, Bluezilla PLK, and Gomes says yes, PRQ tokenomics is superior. He's like, I have more PRQ anyways. All right, well, there's that. I love Gomes. You know, to be honest with you, Gomes, all right, so on OddApp, you could text, you know, and here's the thing, OddApp, okay, you know, you get a better network for sure, but you know, here's the cool features about OddApp, okay? OddApp has military grade encryption in it, okay? It's military grade security. You know, we don't harvest your data, we don't take your data, we don't sell it or anything like that. No screenshots are allowed. It's very private, secure, and encrypted, okay? And Odd token, I'm gonna have payment integration eventually. That's that, you know, so I'm really excited about that. You know, what's funny is like, you know, whenever you're trying to verify a project, you know, what I love about Odd Token and Odd App is if you want to verify the project, you simply go into your phone, you go into your app store and say, well, let's make sure Dion's not full of shit. You go to your app store and you see Odd App and it's right there on your Apple or Google phone. So there you go. That's how you could make sure that it's real. But besides that, you know, one thing I want to bring up about this, okay, OddApp has more human users than a company that is trying to do the same thing as us, except they're on Coinbase. They have a lot of financial backing, but it's a bottom. It's called Jupiter Coin, right? Jupiter Coin is trying to make a private app, okay? But our app is more private. It has better payment integration. It has better payment infrastructure setup because they're using ERC20. I'm using TRC20, which is TRX. So my fees will be cheaper and the process speeds will be faster because Tron is light years faster than ETH. So, and that's a company on Coinbase. My company is nowhere, you know, it's just Tron TRX. I got my Odd app and then I'm going to integrate, you know, but I don't got money like that. I don't got money like the big dogs, you know, but this just shows you guys that somebody from the ground level could dream big enough to build something that is a superior product that has more human adoption. Because guys, when you're looking for a project, you want a project that's real. Okay. You want a real project. And then on top of that, you want to see adoption, which we have. We have more users than a company on Coinbase. Okay. We have more users, human users on our app. And Odd App is used every single day. Every single day. So imagine being part of a community project that's being used daily, every single day by more humans than a company trying to do the same thing with a slower payment processing that's listed on Coinbase. So that should give you guys a lot of pride for Odd Community. Goober says, we going way past Jupiter and way past Uranus. Don't ever forget. Ruel Black says, quality banter here. Yeah, absolutely. You know, look, guys, you know, see, here's the thing, you know, we're not like a regular show. We're not like a show. We're not like a reporter show. You know, this is like, when you're here on MYC, this is like our community. You know, if you guys go to MYCNetwork.io, the first thing you see is Odd App is a community of admins from different projects. Don't forget, we have different admins from different projects on Odd App. We have different developers, and we also have investors there hanging out. And it gives you a different perspective of different interests. You know, admins have a different perspective than developers and investors and what have you. And there is a happy medium between all three, but they all have different interests that actually conflict each other if one balances more than the other. But but you learn more that way. You learn that, your interests are minuscule compared to an admin's, or your interests are minuscule compared to a developer, or whatever. Because investors, they want to make ROI, which is cool. I think everyone deserves to make ROI: admin, developer, and investor. There's a happy medium. However, admins have particular responsibilities that can counteract the investor's interests. Same thing with the developer, but until you understand the infrastructure of the way crypto works, the projects and all that stuff, you're not truly going to know what the hell you're talking about. So what's funny is, like, everyone knows how experienced MYC is. But, if, let's say, it happens every once in a while, I'll run into someone and be like, oh, don't listen to that guy, don't listen to him, and I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, oh, well, this is a scammer. I don't like that guy, okay, great. Well, what has he built? Well, he built this, he built that. Okay, great. Well, what have you built? Crickets, So again, it's just funny when I hear like different investors talking shit about some developer over here, or even if it's on me or whatever. I always listen to that. I'm just like, it's always the people not building, not doing shit. It's always the people that have no product, no service, no nothing, that have the biggest opinions. But the people that are developers and admins are out there fucking busting their ass doing real shit. So, but yeah, I do love, I mean, we have a different community, guys. This is not like your regular YouTube channel. This is the Adult Swim of the crypto sector, no doubt. But you will learn different perspectives. You're going to learn different interests, and you cannot be an educator if you're not educating on multiple things. Like, you can't be an expert in crypto sector without understanding the interest of an admin or interest of a developer or an investor. Because, for instance, an investor that is inexperienced, right? An investor that's inexperienced or doesn't know the sector, or doesn't know what an admin goes through or what a developer goes through, they could be an investor and see an admin selling tokens, right? So the admin sells tokens to raise capital to build something, and then the investor says, oh man, the guy's a scammer because he's selling tokens. Like, no, dumbass. That admin actually has a responsibility to divest tokens to create circulation, because if he doesn't create enough circulation, there's going to be too much price compression for the circulation that is there already, which is bad for the ecosystem. Like, if you don't know those things, then an inexperienced or uneducated investor could sit there and paint the admin as an evil person when he's actually doing what's responsible for the ecosystem. Because if you let compression happen too much, it actually can be very bad for both the investor and the admin and the developer. So, that's just the problem with miseducation in this sector, because there's a lot of people that pretend to know what they're talking about or think they know what they're talking about, and they don't understand what an admin goes through. They don't understand what a developer goes through. There's different responsibilities. The responsibility of an admin, the responsibility of a developer, are actually conflicts of interest to the investor, because some investors want ROI with no time in between, which is a conflict of interest for the people trying to build the project into a success that could potentially make it into an ROI situation. So, these are just certain things that I think that need to be communicated to. And that's kind of what I want to bring with ODAP. I want to bring true education, not just, a bunch of random weirdos that you met online thinking they know crypto or thinking they know the industry because they know a few picks, or because they know this or know this person or whatever. Like, there's way more to learn in this industry than just being, a random viewer looking at different projects. Ruel Black says, yeah, it is the 1/10 dam. 1/10 dam. Yeah, we are probably going to be effed with migrate. Yes, correct. But like, what happened to Gala when it was hacked and went under 2 cents? Maybe there was an opportunity. That was not a hack. Okay, so Gala was not a hack. That was not a hack. Okay, first of all, that was admins. That was the admin's choice to dump 20%. Mind you, he dumped 20% at the compression level of the old tokenomics. So this is what the person did. The admin dumped at whatever that token supply was. I forget, whatever that token supply was, he dumped that 20%. Then after he dumped at that compression level, he expanded, increasing the supply by 20%. So he actually diluted the compression by 40%. There was no hack. There was no hack. That was just bullshit. That was effed up. I didn't like that. And you know what? I mean, See, here's the problem though. Ethically speaking, or or from an investor standpoint, that was bullshit. 100%. I agree. That was bullshit. In fact, I don't see no news about anything other than that was bullshit. But it was just bullshit. I really hated that move. I really honestly I didn't like that. There was no hack. There was no hack. I didn't like that. And because of that, I'm never going to mess around, because who knows the next time he thinks that he needs to expand the monetary system, or expand the token supply. I didn't like that. If he really wanted to expand the tokenomics, then why didn't he expand the tokenomics first and then dump his share? Not fucking dump at the 20% compression level, then expand it. And then see, because basically what he did was diluted it by 40%. That's bullshit. But took 20% liquidity compression at that original tokenomics. So that kind of got me mad. So I didn't like that. Ace Killjoy says, always the hot breath, kids. Gomes says, exactly, man. I am praying that these plebs dump the new coins so that I can increase my stack at lower levels. Well, they're not going to need to dump it. Oh, well, I guess. Yeah, I know what you mean. Gomes says, ABT, PRQ, Jasmine, I'm eating those bottoms like groceries. Christoph says, Jasmine is going to explode. I think so. I think it's a good entry right now, too. It's 2.5x to 1 penny. So Walder says, short-term capital gains, 40%. Long-term gains is 20%. Huge difference. Yes, I know. That's why I'll stop by the middle of this year and then write it out so I won't get hit with the long-term capital gains. Bird Dog says, the crypto Ronin says, much love, y'all. Don't fade my Gala founders node. You know what? Like, I think there's multipliers to be had. I think Gala will still continue to be a good company, but because of the movement on that admin, I'm not going to mess with that project. And the reason why is the same reason as migrations. It could be a hack. It could be that. It could be. I don't care what the excuse is. If I see a migration happen, I'm done. I'm out. It's just a core principle that I have. If I see an admin migrates, it's over. I don't want to touch it no more. It's an internal thing that I got. I hate migrations a lot because they make up all sorts of excuses. They say it's an upgrade. Some say they got hacked. I think if there's a breach, that's a problem. There should have never been a breach. When you guys are actually playing with these tokens, or you actually see what like the process and the security of just a regular token launch, and you see the type of dumb shit that happens in this space, I always get back to it where I'm like, how did that happen? How did it get hacked? How did your security phrases get hacked? Or how did that happen? And then like this alliance block bullshit, like, why did you send this to be stored here and then a breach happens over there? It's that type of shit. Like, I don't know. It is what it is, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure it'll do well. But yeah, you know what? I wanted to share with you guys just a quick little thing before I let you guys go. So today I went to the coin shop. And I like buying gold. I like silver, platinum. I'm very bullish on platinum right now. But I like picking up silver. Like whenever I cash out any metals or I buy metals, I always add one collectible silver piece, like a Morgan or something like that. And today I found a cool 2-ounce silver piece that I think you guys should take a look at. It's really funny. It's the only reason why I bought it. I'm gonna see if I could take it out of the case real quick. Yeah, I could take it out in 1 sec. I think I got my nails for this. Let's see if I get this. Okay. So this is a 2-ounce silver. And wait till you guys see what this looks like. It is pretty funny. But take a look at this on the front. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I could kind of get this close enough. Okay. And pretty cool little coin, and it basically says you can't wake up a person that is pretending to sleep. Okay. So this is a pretty cool little coin or whatever, but wait till you see the other end of it. Okay. This is the reason why I bought this coin. Wait till you see the back of this coin. You're going to see it and you're going to laugh. Okay. It is great. You ready? You guys ready? Drum roll. Somebody drum roll. All right. Get ready. Wait till you see this. You see that? Infinity QE. I thought that was hilarious. When I saw it in the coin shop, I bought it immediately. It was just literally the funniest goddamn coin I've ever saw. So I had to buy it, but it says Infinity QE. So I thought that was great. So I did buy that. So I did want to share that with you guys today. Uh, yeah. Yeah, the Ouroboros. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I thought, exactly your reaction when you guys saw that. I died laughing. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I got to buy this. But very funny. But okay, guys, look, I love you all. Thank you for your support, guys. Look, if you're not in OddApp, don't forget it's 23 USD a month subscription, but you get full access. I'll be there every day. We talk every day. And if you want to ever hear me and Gomes argue with each other or anything like that, you could go to the voice conference area of OddApp and you could talk to me on the phone on OddApp. Okay, so don't forget about it. But what's cool about OddApp, okay, so like, you open it. See, this is what I love about this. It's like, I started on YouTube. I started on YouTube, and then when we got banned off YouTube, I started working in Discord, and then after Discord, we ran into so many dumbasses, all the trolls, all the fake people, so many bad things, So I really wanted to create our own private encrypted place where nobody can mess with us again, So we created OddApp, and it's so cool, because it's like, you're on your phone, you just regular phone, right? And you hop in, okay? And right here you see here's den.social right here, by the way. But then you click on here and then boom. Oh, hold on. Super cool here. See if I could. So there you go. So you pop in right there. And then if you want to hear us argue with each other, you go to voice chat right here, join voice, boom. And then we're all there arguing with each other, ready to go. But besides that, it's awesome because it's like, we get to communicate with each other, private communications. We take our data back. We have data privacy, and all that stuff. So it's just cool to, actually be here and we're communicating on our own platform. It's a huge thing. No one's done it before. And it just comes to show how real we are, So, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I enjoy talking to you guys. I always want to try to make the time to have a good, nice convo with you guys. And it's always good to continue that, So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will see you guys on OddApp. Don't forget it's on Apple and Android phones. And I will see you guys on the next one. And don't forget the Ouroboros and quantitative easing infinity. All right. All right. Take care.